Joe, you've got the aim of a fucking stormtrooper. I swear, you're more dangerous to me than these SCPs.
Hey Donald, you're one to talk. I've seen you miss those easy shots too.
Guys, while you're bickering over there, I'm collecting all the goodies. Should I just keep them for myself?
George, don't hoard everything. Share the loot, man.
Joe, do you have a side gig as a monster tour guide? To your right, you'll see an SCP zombie taking a leisurely stroll. Please, no flash photography.
Hey, I'm just trying to offer our enemies a chance to shine. They deserve some love too, you know.
Joe, if we make it out of this alive, we should nominate you as an ambassador to these creatures. Maybe they'll be so baffled they'll surrender.
I've heard of monster bait, but you're taking it to a whole new level, Joe.
Well, Joe, if you're going to let them pass, at least charge them an admission fee. We could use some extra cash for the next round of this madness. Who the hell do you think you are? Shooting me while I'm customizing my gear. I'd like to survive this round.
Donald, friendly fire's turned off between teammates. At least I think it is.
You know, Joe, your eternal optimism makes me feel like we're on a sunny vacation rather than stuck in a nightmare.
Well, Bush, I always say when life gives you monsters, make Monster Aid.
Monster Aid, Joe? Really?
Let's not argue over monster-themed beverages. We've got a horde of SCPs to deal with.
Barack, you're just upset because you didn't think of the monster aid first.
Where's Joe? Did he get lost again?
Nah, he's probably rummaging through his virtual backpack looking for his virtual inhaler. You know how he is.
At least I don't have to look for my virtual hairpiece like some people I know. I'm all natural, even in the digital world.
All right, Joe, you win this one. But let's not forget that you're still the slowest one to load into the game, whether you're searching for an inhaler or not.
Hey, George, we've taken the elevator. You didn't get lost on the map again, did you? We've played this level like a dozen times now.
Nah, I'm good this time, Barack. I was just exploring for secret rooms and hidden treasures, you know. Being a true adventurer.
Yeah, George, an adventurer in a horror game. Classic move. Maybe next time you can play the role of the monster tour guide with Joe.
What the hell are those abominations in front of us?
Joe, those abominations you're seeing are a fine example of things we should avoid at all costs.
Exactly, Joe. In this game, abomination is just a fancy word for you really don't want to meet these guys.
But if Joe wants to give them a warm welcome, who are we to stop him?
On second thought, maybe I'll pass on that welcoming committee.
Hey guys, watch out for those lingering entities. These abominations might just pull a surprise leap on you.
You mean they can jump at us out of nowhere? Great, just what we needed.
Why are you always so damn annoying, Donald? Seriously, it's like you've got a PhD in irritating.
Joe, it's all in good fun. Keeps things interesting.
Fun? Your idea of fun is getting on everyone's nerves, isn't it? I swear, you've got the world's most punchable face.
Whoa, slow down there, tough guy. I thought you liked a little challenge.
Oh, I do. But there's a difference between challenging and just plain infuriating.
How about you two just shut the hell up and focus on the mission at hand? We've got mutant abominations waiting for us, and your little squabble won't help us survive.
I got to admit, these monsters always make my stomach turn. They're not only horrifying to look at, but they're surprisingly resilient, too. It's like they're made of nightmare material.
Well, Barack, at least we can take comfort in knowing that we're tougher than a bunch of virtual abominations.
That's true. We might argue like hell, but when it comes to survival, we make a damn good team.
Yeah, we've been through worse, and we're still standing.
Hey, check this out, guys. I just found a shotgun in this closet. This baby's perfect for one-shot takedowns. Let's see how these monsters like a taste of buckshot.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Shotgun diplomacy, my kind of diplomacy.
Barack, you might just have found your calling as the team's designated monster slayer.
Damn it, I just crashed for some reason. This is getting annoying.
Maybe you should buy a better PC.
Maybe you should buy a brain, you filthy whore.
Don't worry, George. It happens to the best of us. These early access games can be pretty finicky.
Yeah, Bush, think of it as a tactical retreat. You're just giving us a chance to hog all the kills for a bit.
Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, whatever the hell it is, this game's still in some kind of Greek alphabet soup phase.
Yeah, Joe, just like your brain, stuck in the alphabet soup of stupidity.
Donald, let's cut Joe some slack. It's not like any of us are game developers. We just play the damn things.
You know what's really buggy? Donald's sense of humor. Must have been a software issue.
Well, at least my humor isn't in the alpha stage, Joe.
Hey, Donald, nice pick there. You've got yourself a P90.
A P90, huh? What's so special about it?
Well, it's compact, has a high rate of fire, and a big magazine. Perfect for close encounters, and it looks kind of cool, too.
High rate of fire, you say? I like the sound of that. Let's see what this baby can do.
Wait, hold on. I just realized that those are not monster.
These guys look like they mean business. They must be part of the facility's security team.
Security, huh? Well, they're not doing a great job if they couldn't contain all these anomalies.
You know, in the SCP Foundation, even the security team gets to have its own share of weird stuff to deal with. It's like a never-ending parade of bizarre job hazards.
Anomalies, guards, monsters. It's like we're in some kind of sci-fi horror movie. Can we just get out of here already?
Joe, you're right. It's like we stumbled into a B-movie horror plot, except with better special effects.
Yeah, and I bet I'd make a damn fine action hero. Just need to find me a catchphrase.
How about "you're fired"? Oh wait, that one's taken, isn't it?
You know, I might have been skeptical about your P90 earlier, Barack, but I have to admit it's growing on me. Kind of like how George grows fond of those alpha crashes.
You're right, Donald. It's a fine piece of hardware. Just like a smooth policy move, it hits the target right where it counts.
Well, I always said a good weapon is like a trusty horse. Takes you where you need to go and keeps you safe along the way.
It's definitely not your average zombie apocalypse scenario. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff in our time, but this takes the cake.
You got that right, Barack. I'm starting to think we should have brought some scientists along. Maybe they could figure this mess out.
Well, until we find those answers, let's just focus on staying alive and taking down anything that gets in our way. We've got this, guys.
You know, I've read some bizarre SCP reports, but this is like living in one. I just hope there's an exit strategy somewhere in this mess.
Exit strategy? We're the presidents of the United States, Barack. We make the strategy as we go.
You know, fellas, I can't help but notice how darn repetitive this alpha game is. I mean, we just kill zombies and walk down the same road over and over again.
Well, George, that's probably because it's still an alpha. They're testing the core gameplay mechanics before adding more content.
That's true, Barack. But hey, at least it keeps things simple during this early testing phase. I can't handle too many buttons and options in an alpha.
You're right there, Joe. This game is like the best alpha, believe me. Tremendous zombies, very bigly zombies for an alpha.
But seriously, this game needs some variety. How about some new maps or different types of zombies to test? Or real SCP?
George has a point. Adding variety during testing could provide valuable feedback for the developers.
I agree. Maybe they could add some challenges or puzzles to solve while we're at it, just to see how the gameplay evolves.
Well, gentlemen, it looks like we've just come up with some fantastic ideas to improve this alpha version of SCP-5K. Maybe we should send these suggestions to the developers for their development. I'm joking. I don't give a shit.
Holy fuck, guys, it's SCP-173. It's this damn statue thing that moves when you're not looking at it. I can't blink, guys. I'm scared out of my wits here.
Joe, take a deep breath. It's just a game. Keep your eyes on it and you'll be fine.
Okay, I'm staring at it, but I've never been this scared in a game before.
Joe, you literally shit yourself during every single game you play so far?
Well, sorry, but I can't fucking help it. These games are just too intense sometimes.
Are you two just going to stare at each other without saying anything? Come on, let's keep the game going.
You know, Barack, sometimes silence can be golden. We're having a moment here, appreciating the art of competition. All right, folks, I'm sick of waiting around. I'm rushing toward the next objective, killing zombies and shooting at anything that moves at the end.
Hold on, Donald. You're moving faster than I can say weapons of mass destruction.
Donald, don't go too far ahead. We need to stick together to survive.
Yeah, slow down, Trump. I don't want to end up as zombie bait.
No worries, guys. I've got this. I'll clear the path for all of us. I'm almost done, killing all of them. I'm so good at this.
Well, look who finally decided to do something useful in this game.
You know, Donald, it's not all about games. But while we're on the subject, what makes you think you'd make a great president?
Well, folks, it's simple. I'm the best at everything I do, and that includes running a country. I've got the best words, the best ideas, and the best hair, of course. Plus, I took the greatest prison mugshot ever seen.
You actually brag about your mugshot, Donald?
That's a new one, Donald. Most politicians don't include that in their resume.
You know it. The best mugshot, the best president, it's all in a day's work for me.
Well, folks, I've stumbled upon a water system here. It looks like the only option is to jump in.
Joe, remember what they say. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me. You can't get fooled again. You sure it's safe, Joe?
Do you even think about the stuff you say, George?
Well, this place gives strange and unusual a whole new meaning. What do you think, Barack?
I've seen some unusual things in my time, but this takes the cake, Donald. Joe, any thoughts?
Hey, fellas, according to this wiki, there are some monster crabs and SCPs lurking around here. They're described as tank as hell, whatever that means.
Monster crabs? Well, I guess we should be on the lookout for oversized seafood then. And SCPs? That could mean anything from a singing potato to a teleporting toaster.
Monster crabs and SCPs, huh? Sounds like a recipe for disaster. But don't worry, fellas, we've dealt with our fair share of tough situations. Let's stick together and show these tank-like creatures who's boss.
If I remember one thing from my time as president, it's to always trust a wiki. This place has given me flashbacks to those late-night strategy meetings. We're in the dark here, fellas.
Ush, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack or WMDs in Iraq. Let's see if we can shed some light on this situation.
Well, folks, I always carry a little extra light with me just in case. Let's illuminate this mystery, shall we?
Okay, guys, I've got to admit it. George was right. These crabs are seriously tanky. Donald, you nailed that description.
See, fellas, sometimes even a Texan like me can stumble upon the truth. Those crabs are the real deal, tank-like and all.
George, who knew your Texan charm could extend to crustacean expertise? These tanky crabs are in for a presidential showdown.
Now let's prove that we're not just commanders-in-chief, but commanders in crab fighting, too.
Yikes, that one almost had me for lunch.
Well, Donald, it's a good thing you didn't become the first president to be crab elected.
I guess we'll have to add crab wrangling to your list of presidential skills.
These critters are as persistent as lobbyists during budget season.
There's a whole lot of those pesky crabs. I'm talking more crabs than a beach on spring break, and they're as stubborn as a mule on a Texas ranch.
More crabs than a beach party, huh? George, did you accidentally become their king or something?
Did you promise them free steaks and oil, or what the fuck's going on?
I offered them Texas barbecue and some good old Texan hospitality. Joe, considering your experience, I would have thought you'd understand not everything can be negotiated with an ice cream cone.
You know, Joe, maybe if they'd known about your special talent for sniffing things out, they'd have thrown in a few extra levels for us.
Okay, guys, settle down. Can we focus on killing those things? I'd rather not spend 4 more years in this strange place.
Oh, come on, Barack, it's not that bad. It's just like one of those endless meetings in the Situation Room.
I've been blasting this plant for ages. Is it made of the same stuff as your spine, Joe?
Maybe if you shot straight for once, Donald, you wouldn't have this problem, you fat piece of shit.
I've seen tougher plants in Crawford, but this one, it's on another level.
Donald, maybe the plant just doesn't respect you. Kind of like the majority of voters in 2020.
Cute, Barack, but I didn't see you making plants great again.
Probably because I was too busy cleaning up other people's messes. Right, George?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck!
What now, Joe? Your approval rating's coming back to haunt you?
Donald, focus. We've got bigger issues right now. Looks like these guys didn't get their stimulus checks.
They remind me of the press during my term, always hungry for a piece of me.
Or maybe they're just looking for a decent health care plan.
There's ammo and first aid over here. If you're low or hurt, stock up now. We can't afford any weak links.
First aid, what, no tanning lotion?
For once, can you take something seriously?
Easy, Bush. Donald, just stay orange and alert, okay?
And one more thing. Once we cut off that generator, do not turn it back on. I don't fancy getting electrocuted in this water. Whew. For a moment, I thought Joe was going to switch that thing on while we were still in the water.
No, that was Barack lagging behind, probably working on another book deal.
Hey, every moment's an opportunity, right? Besides, someone had to ensure we didn't leave any legacy behind. Or a birth certificate.
Legacy? Barack, we're trying to avoid zombies and electric shocks here, not run a campaign.
Heads up, everyone. We've got guards up ahead. These guys can't shoot straight, but it only takes 3 hits and you're out.
So what you're saying is they're like your economic policies. Not always on target, but they pack a punch.
If they're as off-mark as Donald's hairline, we might stand a chance.
Joe, at least my hairline's still in the spotlight. How's that basement of yours?
Now, gentlemen, we're all in this together. Let's save the barbs for when we're not in a life or death situation.
George, sometimes it's hard to tell if we're dealing with more threats out there or in here.
If these guards are as bad at aiming as the media is at telling the truth, maybe Biden should take the lead. Seems he's good at dodging questions.
Donald, every time you spoke, it was like a game of dodgeball. Maybe you can distract them with one of your alternative facts.
At least I'm memorable, Joe. You're just trying to fit into shoes too big for you.
Can we just focus? While Donald's being Donald, the rest of us can find a way around.
Right, because splitting up has always worked so well in horror scenarios. Great plan, George.